Okay, I am live. I'm pretty sure. Um, all right. Okay, I am live now. Um, okay. So in today's video, I'll be messing around with the YouTube API, and I'm gonna create a application that kind of fetches the comments from one of my YouTube videos, and uh, it kind of runs a neural network on them to check if they are positive, negative, or neutral comments. Kind of like that. It's a pretty basic thing, but you can see, like, for a big YouTuber wants to check how his like audience is reacting. That's actually a kind of a good thing. So yeah, and today I actually have a lot of time, so I probably will be able to go like as long it takes. Now in some areas I won't be able to show you a lot of the code, like some of the code containing the API keys and stuff like that, which I obviously can't show. But like the actual coding aspect, the neural network code and all of that, I will be showing. So in case if you want to actually follow along, you will be able to do that. Now one second, I'm just gonna check on my other device to see if my stream is up, like, and it's actually working. All right, I think it's the okay. So okay, I think someone is also there in the chat. Okay, so that's actually one of my friends. All right, it's okay. So let's actually get started. First of all, what I'm going to do is just cd to my desktop and Python. I think I'm just gonna pop out the chat so I can actually see what. Yeah. One second. All right, good. So now I do have the pop out chat. All right. So now I'm just going to make a directory called. Actually, I think I do have a directory based on for the YouTube API. Oh yeah, there it is, the YouTube comment finder. I actually do have a project like this. So I think I'm just gonna cd to that because I think I do have some of my API keys in there. So I'm just gonna open it up in Visual Studio Code. Here I'm gonna just minimize the pop-out chat so I can take a look at it whenever I want to. Alright, now I don't want to have my main.py file open right now since it does have some of my API keys. So just a second, I'm actually gonna switch over here and switch on my face cam so I can just check if there are any API keys over here. One second, guys. I'm just gonna. Alright. Main.py. Alright, okay, I can actually show you this because there are no API keys in there. So alright, I'm just gonna disable my webcam. I'm actually not gonna be keeping it enabled a lot of times. So because the thing is that like I don't really want that to happen right now. So one second, let me actually get started now. Alright, why is this happening? Alright, cool. So now what I'm going to do is actually search for the YouTube API documentation. So YouTube API docs. I'm gonna have the documentation, and I also will need one more thing. Extract all the comments from a video using the YouTube API. Alright. Extracting YouTube comments with YouTube API and Python. Exactly what we need. Your connection is not private. Okay, back to safety. Maybe how to extract. Alright, let's just do, like, this is a good website. I do know that, so I'm just gonna visit that one. I don't want my laptop to be hacked. Alright, so we basically iterate through each video response and fetch comments and replies. The data comes in the directory format. Each comment data has a reply count number. If reply count number is 0, then no reply on the comment. Alright, I got it. Okay, so I do know that you actually need to have like this a project on the Google Cloud. I'm sorry, the Google Cloud platform. If you actually want to mess around with the YouTube API, I actually do have a project. So I'm pretty much gonna be using the API keys from that one because I barely have used like all of the. I have barely used that project for a few projects only. So I really don't think that I will have to create like an entire new project. So that will be a pretty cool thing since I will be able to do all of that a lot quicker. Alright, so I'm just gonna search for Google Cloud. Oops. Google Cloud Platform. We don't need that. And now you will have to log in this into this in case if you haven't. You will have to sign up. Now I'm just gonna use my. I'm just gonna use like my account, the thing that I am having. Where is that? Okay, I haven't really used this for a long time, so I really am not that efficient with it right now, but alright. Now I don't know why I'm having a lot of lag right now, so yeah. Okay, so now what I want you to do is you want to just set up a new project in Google Cloud Platform. Now I already do have a project called YouTube Access API, and so yeah, I actually do have it, so I won't really have to create an entire new project. It's actually very simple to create, or so yeah, I'm really not gonna go over and make an entire new project. Now and now what I'm going to do now is I'm actually gonna again enable my webcam because I actually will need to access the API keys that I will need. All right, okay, my API key is my API key is visible right now. So one second, guys. Let me just open up my webcam. All right. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just get my API key. Where is that? Okay, why can't I find it now? YouTube access. Maybe I'll have to use another one. YouTube access, Google Book. Alright, I think I'm just gonna create an entire new project. I think I'm just gonna do that. Because I don't know why I can't find it. I think I'm just gonna click on new project. You can figure this out. It's actually pretty straightforward. Okay, I have hit the project limit. Now I obviously don't want to pay right now, so I'm going to wait. And now viewing no organization. Okay, why can't I find it? Where to find where to find API key and project IDs. API key in Google Cloud Platform. Go to Google Cloud Console, click on the drop down and select if you want to add the API key. Google Map credentials. Okay, credentials. Now where is credentials? I really can't find it. I think it's in settings. Right, where is it? Maybe I'm gonna use a different project. Maybe that's why. One second. Let me just use let me actually use my let me use like a different project. Okay. Maybe I have to click here. Yeah. I know, guys. Like you can't really see me right now. Which is kind of bad, but I don't know when I will be able to view my API key, and I really don't want that. Like other people see that because I know like most of you guys won't really do anything, but there are a few people who really, and I don't really want my API keys to be used. So yeah, settings, where click on credentials. All right, where is credential APIs and services? Maybe. All right, there we go. I got it. So now I'll be able to get my API key. It's actually kind of easy to find. I don't know why it took me a lot of time, but whatever. So now it's all right. So now I'm just gonna create a credential over here. No API keys to display. Configure consent screen. Alright. Create credentials. API key. Creating an API key. It takes a second or two. Alright, there we go. Copy that and close that. Now what I'm going to do is actually just now what you want to do is just do whatever I just did in your project. You want to get yourself an API key because basically what an API key will allow you to do is access all of these services that you want. So now what you also want to do, once you have the API key, you want to actually add the YouTube API as the service that you will want to use for this project. Because if you actually don't, then it actually you won't be actually be able to get all of the data. It will show you an error, so you actually first need to enable that. It will be kind of specific with the error saying that hey, you haven't actually enabled it, but you first want to just enable that. All right, I think I have it done now. Okay, so now I'm just gonna shut my face cam. Okay, so as you can see over here, my Google Chrome is lagging like crazy. I'm just gonna enable the YouTube Analytics API, retrieves YouTube Analytics data. Now there is a chance we might need to enable another API because currently the API that we have enabled is the YouTube Analytics API, and we actually want to download things with that API. We don't really want to just view my subscriber account and all of that because we already do know that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is actually open up a new VS Code project. Actually make their YouTube comment sentiment. I know, not the best project name, but we'll make do with it. So now I will just create a file main.py, and I'm just gonna open it up in Visual Studio Code. Okay, we do have multiple instances of VS Code running, so I'm just gonna close this one. Just zoom into this one. Alright, there we go. Zoom. Open up main.py and let's actually get started. So we are pretty much gonna be copy pasting like half of the code. Now what I am actually gonna do is actually create another file called api key.txt, and let me just paste in my API key. So enable my webcam and paste in my API. Okay, my API key is now not on my clipboard, so I will have to retrieve it again. Okay, this is not that good. I need to do it again. Credentials, come on, credentials. I don't know why my Google Chrome is so slow today. It's usually pretty fast, but I don't know what's up with it right now. Alright, there we go. Copy my API key. Copy. Okay, that's actually an OAuth client. I actually want an API key. Why can't I have an API key? Okay, so I think in the case of the YouTube Analytics API, we can't have an API key yet. I don't know, maybe. Because it's not really giving me an option for that OAuth client. Let me just have the OAuth client also. We will also find an API key. through my actual project and not through the API. Where is that? APIs and services. There we go. Come on. Okay, I think my Google Chrome isn't responding. That's bad. 1 second. Come on, what's happening? My Google Chrome isn't responding right now. Maybe I'll have to try a different web browser now. I don't know why. What's happening? My Google Chrome isn't really responding right now, which is kind of bad. Since I am live streaming through Google Chrome and I don't know what happens if my Google Chrome stops responding. I don't know why it's giving me such a tough time today. Let me just have a check on the stream real quick. Alright, it's okay. YouTube Access API. There we go. Okay. Done. Now just paste it in here and just say API key. Cool. And now I'm just gonna disable my webcam again. Alright, so okay, I forgot to switch files. Alright. So now what I need to do is actually access the stuff, the actual comments. So the way we are going to do that is we are going to just copy paste this piece of code given to us. So copy and paste. That's basically how I want to do it. I really am not going to take the time and actually learn how to do it. I'm just going to copy paste this. Let's see over here. Alright, there we go. The complete code. There we go. All of the code that we will need. Now I just need to paste in my API key and we will be done, if everything is correct. Alright, next page token. Alright, so I think basically what this does is actually gets the comments of one single thing. Now I'm just gonna show you guys my API key. There we go. Just put that in there. Alright, so now let's actually run this piece of code. I hope it works. Python 3 main.py. You will actually have to install a few modules, but just do that. Alright, it obviously will take a second. Okay, error. File main.py. 1 second. Raise HTTP error, self.uri. When requesting that thread snippet API key, return the video identified by the code ahref list video ID parameter could not be found, details identify. Okay, file main.py 15, line number 15. Alright, let's actually have a look at that. YouTube.retrieve the YouTube video results. Comment threads, snippet replies. Maybe 1 second, I'm just gonna find it up from you. Best song, awesome song, thank you. Come on, why isn't it working in my case? Let's open it up over here. Search for the videos. Okay, so is this in one of the, okay, it is the YouTube data API. So I think I don't have the YouTube data API. Yeah, I have the YouTube analytics API enabled, not the data API. So I'll have to enable the data API and then I will be able to actually access that. So let me just enable that. Alright, so that's basically what my error was. I'm pretty sure, I hope that's the case. Alright. So now if we will enable that API, then that should um, allow us to actually do that. Okay, why try this API? Click to try this API in the API Explorer. Click to manage this API. Okay, I think so. I have actually enabled that. Let's see. Okay, I have enabled that. Okay, I don't know why that's not working then. YouTube data API set 1. Let's actually see over here. Let me actually just open up the documentation. YouTube data API version 3 documentation extract all comments of a video. Okay, let's actually search for that. Okay, why did it close all of my tabs? Let me just add it over here. Comments.list. Okay, comments list. Let's actually check that one. This method has one common case which is described below. The buttons below this description populate the API. Okay, let's see. So the required parameters are the part which specifies comma separated list of one or more common things. Okay, 1 second, I'm just gonna do that. ID. The following list contains the part names that you can include with the parameter value. The filters specify exactly one of the following parameters: parent ID, max results, requested body, a tag, kind, errors. Right. Let's try it out. So, okay, which part should we actually add? Part specifies a comma separated list of one or more comment resource properties. Let's actually check what part have they specified over here. Part. Alright, part snippet and replies. Oh, cool. Let's just use that one. Snippet and replies. So if we just try it out over here, I can just pass it that. Okay, now what do we pass? The ID parameter specifies list of comments, comment IDs. Let's see. Let's just go 10 and page token. Let's just execute. See what happens. At least one scope must be checked to use run Google Auto. Okay, I'm just gonna disable that and execute that now. Error 400 replies you to the part, unknown part. Come on, why is that the case? Yeah. Check the support page. Let's actually look on YouTube. Maybe some guy has made some tutorial. We can just copy paste the code. Alright, let's go to YouTube. List all comments of a YouTube video. YouTube API. I know this stream is a lot of like figuring out stuff, but yeah. YouTube comment scraping, scrape all YouTube comments, all comments of all for all videos, API, YouTube API plus Python. Alright, there we go. I think this is the one we need. Now I'm not gonna follow along right now. I'm just gonna get the code. I hope he has. Alright, there we go. Thank you. And now what I'm gonna do is actually gonna put this guy's YouTube video link in my code, so you guys can also check him out. API key, my API, banner, YouTube comments. Okay, that's a lot of code that is being written. Okay, that's actually a lot of code. Okay, so it's not just that, it's actually a lot of it. Okay, I'm just gonna get the whole thing and let's just do that. And just go over here, command A, command V. Now let's just search wherever the API key has been used, because that's actually kind of important. API key, my API, developer key equals to my API. And what's that? Okay, so we don't need this obviously, since we have to just gonna be specifying that over there. So we are just gonna be specifying this over here. All right, there we go. So I'm just gonna copy my API key over here, go and paste it, and now we can just execute this piece of code. And I hope that it works. I'm gonna check on the stream. Okay, the stream is still on. And there we go, it's actually working. And there we go, we actually do have a comments.csv and a description.json file over here. And there we go, actually our currently stored outside. And okay, so I think that's not my video from those comments I'm getting. So the comments are being scraped but not from my video. So I need to figure out where are we actually specifying the video ID, because we will need to replace it. Okay, so I think it's going to be somewhere on the top, I guess. Alright, so video ID, title, description, comment, author, name. Okay, so I think that's the variable name, video underscore ID. Alright, there we go, video ID. So we are gonna see where we are calling the get ratings function, because that's where the video ID will be passed. Self.video ID. Okay, so which class is that? ycom. Okay, oops. ycom. Where are we actually specifying that? Get channel videos. Then why aren't we actually passing in the video ID? No comments available. Making CSV. Get ratings, self.video ID. There we go. So ratings, get rating starts ready for CSV. And it's in the request comments function also, but the alright, so I need to actually figure this out. Video ID. So basically wherever we are calling the get ratings function is where we are actually passing in the video ID. So I'm just gonna call that. And y dot get ratings. Okay, that's not there. Video underscore ID is equal to something. Okay, that's 13 results, so maybe there will be one of them where we are actually passing in the YouTube video ID. Self.video ID, self.video ID, self.video ID, self.video ID. Okay, wait a second. Headers. Okay, so maybe in the description.json, ID, title, description. Alright, why can't I find anything containing the video ID? Maybe somewhere. Okay, there we go. So that's the channel ID. So instead of the video ID, we actually need to provide the channel ID, because it's pretty much getting all of the YouTube comments. So what I will do is actually first switch on my webcam, so I don't need to show you guys some of the confidential information. So I'm just gonna go to my channel, and I'm just gonna get myself my channel ID. So just 1 second, guys. Okay, how do I actually get my channel ID? maybe through YouTube Studio. If you guys know the answer, then please put it in the chat. Alright, so um, it's taking some time. I don't know why my Chrome is actually very slow today. It's actually very laggy. Maybe because I'm like live streaming does take up a lot of RAM. Okay, I think I'll just have to Google it up. How to get channel ID in YouTube. Sign in into YouTube. In the top right, click on your profile picture settings and click on advanced settings. Okay, click on that, click on your channel, settings, and okay, customize channel. So maybe that's where it is, customize channel. Let's just use that. I think I can show you guys that stuff. So disable that webcam. Okay, so again, as you can see, YouTube is not very okay, so let's actually just quickly get basic info. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Channel URL, analytics, monetization, view channel, probably that's where it is. No, that's not. Video ID, how to get channel ID from YouTube. Let's just look that up. Stack Overflow, Google. Okay, there we go. A valid API key. Channel ID in YouTube. Find your YouTube user and channel IDs. Alright, there we go. That's what we need. Sign in into YouTube. Click on the top right. Okay, so I'm just gonna open link a new tab and I'm just gonna close these tabs. Okay, so end up click on your profile picture. So let's just do that. And what do we have to click on? And click on settings. Settings, maybe that's okay. I don't see where that is. Settings is. Alright, there we go. Settings. And where do we have to click? Advanced settings. And there we go. Channel ID. Copy that. And alright, there we go. So now all we need to do is we can just put that in there. And I think I'm just gonna run this Python file again, and then we will be able to create the neural network. So now, since there are not like a whole lot of subscribers, so this will actually be really quick, I'm pretty sure. So now if we actually do open the comments.csv file, I think it will be modified in some time. Okay, so there you go. So as you can see, we are up to making a drawing app. So we have kind of scraped a lot of YouTube comments. Almost done. There we go, done. So let's see. Okay, why doesn't this thing get modified? I don't know that. Okay, there we go. So here, as you can see, we have all of these descriptions published at and video IDs, as you can see over here. we do have every single video ID that we want, and a lot of other data on that. So we do have this thing. So now what I'm actually going to do is actually delete this file called comments, because I think that's basically why we are having this error. Alright, so now I'm again going to run this piece of code, and hopefully it should work and it should create a file. There we go, comments.csv with all of the comments that we want. There we go. As you can see, we have all of the comments that I have. Now as you can see, some of it is code, since some are like, in some cases I have added code in the description or the comments. So what I'm going to do is actually going to get rid of some of the code, since that's actually not what we want. It will basically it won't be like basically the dataset will get confused, since code isn't, it will classify code as spam, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is actually get rid of all of the code, so we can actually just have the comments and not all of that stuff. Like a little bit of code won't hurt, but I'm still gonna get rid of it. Alright, so there we go. So we do have the comments. I'm not gonna bother with the code now. So now we can actually make the neural network. So let's actually get started. So first of all, what I'm gonna do is create a file called dataset.json, and in here we are just gonna create a very simple JSON dataset that is going to take in two parameters: the sentence, which is basically the comment, and a tag. So a tag of 0 will mean a positive comment, a tag of 1 going to mean a negative comment, and a tag of 2 will mean a neutral comment. Now we can actually first just tag it as positive, negative, and neutral, and then we can just append 0, 1, and 2 into the JSON dataset, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just gonna create a field called sentence, comment, and we are just going to pass in a basic comment. Now I'm not going to really be taking a lot of comments from the actual description, since I'm pretty sure that will actually be some of the testing data. So but I think I'm just gonna, so let's actually search for a positive comment. Now it's actually kind of difficult to do that. Okay, where is that thing? Okay, so these, there we go. So that's actually a comment that wasn't me, and this was also a comment that wasn't made by me, and also this wasn't made by me. So alright, so we do have comments made by other users, because I initially thought it was just comments that I had made. So good video, and we can just give it a tag of 0. So I'm just gonna create a file called tags.txt, and I'm just gonna pass in 0 good, 1 bad, 2 neutral. And now I'm going to just copy this line of code and paste it a few times. So now basically what I will do is mess around with the caps locks, because that's actually one of the parameters that a model looks at. So maybe we'll also add like a exclamation mark. So alright, because an exclamation mark can actually be classified as two things, like as a positive comment or a negative comment. So okay, why is that an error? End of while expected. Oh yeah, that's supposed to be a square bracket and not a round curly bracket, so we can just add that. Alright, so now I'm just gonna copy this, and we can just have something like great series, enjoyed it a lot. Then we can have something like best YouTuber ever, and stuff like that. Now you can add more things to the dataset. I'm just creating a very rudimentary dataset, but yeah. So best YouTuber ever. And now let's add a few negative comments. So yeah, click B. Now if you actually look at it, a negative comment, there is a chance that like probably a lot of negative comments will be caps lock, so to actually so we will actually have a lot of caps locks in here. So I'm just gonna make that a tag 1. You do need to have a tag of 1 in the negative comments. Worst YouTuber ever, something like that. So let's just go worst YouTuber ever. So we can just so worst YouTuber ever, we can just put that in there. And now remember to have a tag of 1 in the negative comments, since the model will actually get confused if you actually forget to do that in there, because it will think that clickbait means actually a good video. So yeah, horrible video disliked, something like that. Let's actually have that horrible video and disliking it, whatever. Now let's add a few neutral comments. Now I really can't really think of a lot of neutral comments. So I'm just gonna go hello. Let's go hi. Let's just go. And I know I'm not really descriptive with this, but alright, there we go. So a 50-line data set, not a lot, I have to agree with that, but we can work with it. So there we go. Now I know I was kind of biased towards the good comments, but that's how it is. Alright, so now I'm just gonna have a quick check on the stream, because I really want to see if it's actually perfect. So I'm just gonna have a quick check over here. Alright, that's perfect. Okay, so there we go. The stream is perfect, so now I can actually continue, because I was getting a bit skeptical. So there we go. Now we can actually create the file for the neural network. So I'm just gonna close this. So now I'm just gonna close like all of these files, and we can actually get started with the network. So now let's create a new file. Actually, I have to add the YouTube video link for the guy who actually came up with this. Alright, let's what, I don't have the YouTube video right now, so I'm just gonna add the GitHub repository. And I think when I will upload the code to GitHub, I will add the guy's name, because well, he does deserve that. So I'm just gonna add that. GitHub repository from which the code was taken. There we go. So you guys will be able to actually visit this in case if you want to. So let's create a file, neuralnet.py. This file will be responsible for all of the neural networking stuff. So now 1 second guys, I will actually I'm having a little bit of a lag over here, so I'm just 1 second, I'm just gonna switch to my webcam for a second. Just a second. Just a second. I will have to like do a little bit of I can't really have a lot of my windows open, so I'm just gonna quickly do all of the stuff that I need to with my terminal window. So 1 second, guys. Um, yeah, there we go. Just a second. Alright. Come on, why isn't that out? Okay, I don't know why I'm having this issue. It's actually like, in my case, it's showing like my just the OBS Studio is actually taking up 59% of my CPU. So you can think how crazy it actually is. So yeah, that's basically with the entire issue with it, that it's actually taking up a lot of my CPU space right now. I don't know why that's happening. Like usually that does not happen. Like whenever I stream, it does take up a fair amount of my CPU storage and processing speed. But I don't know why that's like, I never have like, I like it does not lag this much. So I know it's taking a little bit of time, but I really don't have any other option. So 1 second, I will have to check it through my iPad and over here now, just to see if the stream is perfect again. 1 second. Thank you. Just thank. Alright. Just a second, guys. I know it's taking a little bit of time, but I want to get everything sorted out. So now that we actually start programming the neural network, I really don't want a lot of distractions. So that's why I'm actually first getting this stuff sorted out. So yeah, I know it's taking a little bit of time, but we have to work with it. Alright, 1 second. Okay, I'm almost done. Just a second. I'm almost done. I'm just getting rid of the stuff that I don't need and checking to see why it's actually taking up a lot of the space. Because I really hope I can find a solution to this, because it's actually very annoying. Since I know you can't see it in the recording, but it's actually very laggy right now in my on my laptop. So yeah, that's actually a bit of a problem. So yeah. So yeah. All right. Okay, there we go. I think I am done now. I think I just checked my iPad and the stream is working nicely now, and also my laptop is kind of good. Alright, I actually closed Visual Studio Code, so that drastically decreased my CPU like usage. So I kind of got that. It was all like mainly because of Visual Studio Code, YouTube, the terminal, and all of that stuff running on the same time. That was basically the main reason. But now we can actually get to actual code, and let's actually get started with this neural network, because I was really excited about this neural network. Alright. 1 second. There we go. Alright, let's get started. So from obviously we need to first, since we are using the JSON JSON dataset, we do need to import JSON. Import TensorFlow as TF. I do have a few tutorials on this stuff, so now I'm not gonna be explaining you this. If you want to check it out, check out my tutorials. But you can, like, If you want, you can treat this as a tutorial, but it's not a tutorial. I'm pretty much gonna be speed coding this. I think I'm gonna get done with this model in like 10 minutes, probably. I hope so. Actually, I don't think we need random. What I was thinking is that we could like choose any random comment from the comments.csv and do that, but so from tensorflow dot keras dot preprocessing dot text, we need to import the tokenizer, and from tensorflow dot keras dot preprocessing dot sequence, we need to import pad underscore sequences. Why is it that is that incorrect? We'll look into that later on. Now we obviously do need to import keras. So from tensorflow import keras, and I think that's all we need. I think we'll look into that. So now we need to actually declare the parameters, kind of like the hyperparameters, stuff like that. So declare the variables. I'm just gonna call it variables right now because some of them are hyperparameters but not all. So vocab underscore size will be, let's just set it to like 450. We'll look into that. The number of embedding dimensions. So we will be going for an embedding style neural network instead of a RNN or a recurrent neural network. You can obviously create a recurrent neural network also consisting of all of the cool stuff like LSTMs and all of that stuff. But I think in this case, since we are kind of having like something like sentiment analysis, this is kind of like sentiment analysis. So that's why what I'm going with is a embedding layer. Since the way an embedding layer works is it provides a vector for each of the word, which is obviously already tokenized, and then all we do is we kind of calculate the angle that the vector is making to calculate the actual prediction. So like an embedding, or like if you have like good and bad, then they are gonna be on the opposite ends, and something like okay will be forming a 90-degree angle with both of those things. So that's basically how an embedding actually works. So yeah, I know it sounds a little bit of like gibberish, but that's basically how it works. Now this is actually something important. What should we use as the training size? Let's see. So I think I'm just gonna use everything. I don't think I'm gonna go for any validation. So I'm just gonna find for comment, so we will actually get how many times we have used the word comment. And okay, why can't we see that? Why can't I see that? What? Okay, why can't I see how many times I've used a specific word? That is a feature. Come on. Okay, I think I'm just gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12. So 12. And number of epochs, I think I'm gonna go for 200. We'll look into that. Why can't I see that? Alright, there we go. 200 epochs. And let's actually define the class names. So class underscore names is equals to positive, negative, and neutral. And let's actually load in the dataset. So with open, what was the name? Dataset.json, dataset.json as r as f data store is equals to json dot load. So we load in the dataset, and in this case we obviously load in as f, since we name it f in this with statement. I'm pretty sure you know, like, this is just basic Python code, so I'm pretty sure you guys know that, so I'm not really gonna explain you that. Alright, so let's actually create the separate list for the sentences and the labels. So I'm just gonna create a comment creating separate lists for the sentences and the labels. So sentences is equals to an empty list and labels is equals to an empty list. So then we can just say is for an item in the data store, we want to append, we want to call sentences dot append the item, and in this case the item that we want to append as a sentence is the comment and not the actual tag. The labels will be containing the tag for the comment. So what we say is we just say append and we do say append tag. Oops, tag. There we go. Now that we have done that, we actually need to create the training and the validation data. Now I know what you might say. Well, if you have specified the training dataset with a size of 12, which is the size of the entire dataset, how can you actually have any validation data? Well, in this case, the length of the validation data will be 0, obviously, but in the future, if you actually do improve on this, you will have a little bit of like some validation data. So that's why what I'm doing is actually doing this step. So in the future, if I actually don't want to change this data set, then so yeah, so creating the training and the testing data. So what we can say is just say training underscore sentences. Now what will training sentences be equal to? Well, that's very simple. The sentences from the 0th sentence to the training size. As you can see, I'm kind of explaining this as a tutorial, but so yeah, that's why I told you, you can treat it like a tutorial but not like an entire complete tutorial. Okay, why isn't my can't? Okay, there we go. Alright, and there we go. Basically what this does is it kind of breaks up the list into two parts, from 0 to the training size that we had specified up top, so 12, and yeah, so that's pretty much what it does. I'm pretty sure like that this is actually like very basic Python syntax that we are writing. We are not really writing anything that's very crazy or difficult or anything like that. So sentences, actually, that's actually not going to be sentence, that's going to be labels. Since we are looking at the labels now, so we need to specify from 0 to the training size. Now don't create a separate training size for sentences and labels. If you create a separate training size for the sentences and the labels, that's actually very bad. Okay, so we have someone called Ayan Panda, okay, whatever. So I'm just gonna say hello, hope everybody is having fun. Alright, okay, where was I? Okay, there we go. Testing underscore labels. Now we are just setting the testing labels. So labels, and this will be from the training size and colon. There we go. There we go. So now what we need to do is actually create the tokenizer. So this is one of the main steps of the model. So creating the tokenizer. So what we do is we just specify a variable tokenizer is equals to tokenizer. Oops, that has to be a capital T. Oops, okay, why isn't that working? Alright, there we go. So the number of words that the tokenizer is going to have will be equal to the vocab size that we had defined up top. Vocab size, and it's going to have a couple of and it's gonna have another thing called the OOV token, and that's gonna be equal to the OOV token that we had defined up top. Alright, so now all we need to do is we just say tokenizer, and we actually want to fit the tokenizer on our training sentences, because that's the only way you can actually create those vectors and stuff, the numbers, like each sentence will be assigned, each word will be assigned a number. Only that's the only way we can do that. So we can just say tokenizer.fit on text. So that's actually the method for that. So fit on text, and then we can just specify the training underscore size for that. There we go. So now that's actually supposed not training size, that's supposed to be the training sentences. There we go. So now that we have done that, we need to actually convert the training sentences using the tokenizer. Like we actually want to convert each and every stuff of the training sentence into that sequence that I was talking about. So the way we do that is we just say training underscore sequences is equal to tokenizer dot what was that, text. I think it was a text to something, so I'm just gonna get auto completion. I think it was text to sequences, I'm not sure, we'll look into that. And then here we can just say what do we have, which parameter do we pass in there, need to figure that out. What was that? Yeah, I think it was something like training sentences. One of them was training sentences, I'm pretty sure. Training sentences. The other one was the maximum length. So I'm just gonna pass in max length. Max length is equals to, I think we don't need that underscore, we'll look into that. Max length is equals to max underscore length. We can have the padding, that will be equal to the padding underscore type, and we can have the truncating and the truncating type. So truncating is equals to the truncating type. There we go. We can just copy that and paste that in there. And the other one will be obviously the testing sequences. So just a second, guys, I'm just gonna have a look over here. Alright, there we go. So let's specify the testing sentences. So test, actually, okay, one second, guys. Just sequence. Okay, so I think I'm having a little bit of look on the code over here, like the code that I used to create my chatbot. We actually don't need to pass those other parameters in here, so I'm just gonna copy those. Just gonna get rid of this one. We actually first need to pad these sentences. So what we say is we just say something like training padded is equals to, we say pad underscore sequences, and that's where we pass in the training sequences. So training sequences, and we can just pass this thing in, and now we can pretty much just copy this same thing and we can simply paste that. But in this case, instead of that, it will be testing instead of training, obviously. So we can just actually, and what I'm gonna do is actually use this neat feature called the multi-line cursor, and just gonna make it that thing testing. So basically that allows me to do that stuff a lot faster. It's pretty cool. Alright, there we go. So over here, instead of passing in the training sentences, we can pass in the okay, training labels, training sentences, training labels, testing labels. Oh yeah, I made a bit of a typo. Training sentences, this is supposed to be the testing sentences. As you can see, I have made a few typos. I hope I haven't made any more. I really do hope that, but we'll look at it. Now I think I'm just gonna convert them to a numpy array so we can actually get the so we can actually create the model. I think I'm just gonna copy the model code from my chatbot, since my chatbot model was actually pretty cool, so I'm just gonna get that one. So training padded is equals to the np dot array, and that will be equal to the training padded, and obviously the training labels will also be have to be converted to the numpy array labels, and let's actually do the same thing for the testing dataset. So we can just go testing underscore padded, and testing labels. Done. Let's actually create a comment. Converting everything into a numpy array. Alright, now I'm just gonna copy paste the code for my chatbot. So I'm just gonna open that up over here. Chatbot, there we go. And I'm just gonna copy paste the code. The reason why I'm doing that is basically because my chatbot model was actually kind of cool, and like it was kind of good with the uh, stuff, so I'm just gonna copy that. Now in case if you don't know, I actually expanded on that chatbot off camera, and it's actually really overkill now. You can search up Google, open up links. I named him Jarvis now instead of Taz. In case if you don't know, Taz was like the dude from Interstellar. He was the guy, like he was one of the robots from Interstellar. In case if you guys have seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. So now obviously we are gonna be saving the model, but that's a thing for something off stream. I'm probably not gonna I'm not really gonna save the model, load it in, and create an entire graphical user interface right now, because well, I have been streaming for a little bit right now. Let's actually see how long I've been going for. Please check the video resolution, average watch time. Okay, 1 hour 7 minutes. That's kind of cool. Let's actually just write that down over here. 1 hour. Okay. So we have had 8 playbacks, and we are currently at a single concurrent view. That's kind of cool for me. Alright. Model.compile, so let's actually call the model.compile and the model.fit and the model.summary. And we will have to uncomment this piece of code. There we go. And I think that's all. Yeah, we'll have to first copy this. We'll have to get the stuff for decoding sentences for predictions. Let's do that. Alright. Moment of truth. Let's see if this actually works. Now let's actually first save the model also, so that's kind of, so we can just make a comment in here. Saving the model. Alright, model save. What should I name it? Let's just go comment sentiment model. I know, like, as you can see, my naming skills aren't that good. I'm really just naming it anything. You know, if you want to name it anything, I'll just post it in the live chat. Thank you. Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Ayan Panda, Drew Solanki is actually my brother. and Ishan Shetty is my friend. All right. So thank you for tuning in. We are almost done. In case if you want to ask any questions, then you can just post them in the comment section, and I will answer them. Uh, Comment section, I mean like the uh, just post them down below in the live chat, and I will answer them. So yeah, just do that. In case if you want to actually. So alright, let's actually give it a sentence now. Let's see how good our model is, but first we actually need to train it. Let's actually train it up. Run the file. Now I think my TensorFlow, the Python version that I use in my Visual Studio Code isn't the same as the thing I have in my terminal, so I think I might run into an error over here. Alright, till that time I'm just gonna have a look at the chat over here. Just gonna have this window. Let me actually just, I was thinking of like splitting the screen, but I know then it won't really look that good, so I'm just gonna do this. Alright, I was just checking on the stream at that time. Okay, so as you can see, the model is not, for some reason the model is not running. Like, alright, okay, items is not defined. Line number 30, that's an error. Line number 30, labels dot append item. Alright, that's supposed to be an item and not items. Let's run the stream again. What model is it? Okay, so we do have a question. It's a text. Text sentiment. One second, let me actually answer it through my iPad. 1 second, guys. It's not. Oops. Neither on net. It's fully connected with an embedding. Alright, there we go. I hope that kind of satisfies your answer. Okay, raise type error. Line number 39. 1 second, guys. Let's actually have a look over here. Why is that an error? Line number 39. What's line number 39? Tokenizer, num of words, and OOV token. Oh, I think I got my error. But I'm just gonna have a check over here just to see if I'm correct. Okay, somewhere over here. Vocab size. That's supposed to be vocab size and not. Okay, wait a second. That's actually correct. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna copy this. Oh yeah, we have to get the word index. I see. 1 second. I think the main problem with this is this part. I'm actually very finicky with this, so that's why I'm just gonna copy it. I'm actually like I kind of remember the other part of the code, but this part, like the tokenizer part, I'm actually not very good at. So that's why I have to copy this, just in case I have actually messed up something. So yeah, again, the code will be available on GitHub. I will make it available once I end the stream. The stream won't be like, the stream will also be uploaded to YouTube, but it will take some time, like probably tomorrow, because it actually takes a little bit of time for YouTube to process the stream. And once it's uploaded, I will add the GitHub repository either in the description or in a YouTube comment or something like that. Alright, so it's running, and chunk type is not defined. Why isn't that defined? I think I had defined it. Chunk type. Oh, okay, that's a typo. That's supposed to be chunk type. There we go. Let's run it again. Please work. I really want this to work now. Let's see how long I've been streaming for. um, 74 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I think I will be able to go for like 2 hours at the max, probably, because like I really like, otherwise my num of epochs is not defined. What? I literally define it over here. Num of epochs. What? I have defined that. One second, let's actually find it. One on one. Okay, so maybe I have made some typo. I'm just gonna copy that name. Num of epochs. Okay, so I just wrote like num epochs over there instead of num of epochs. It's okay. Uh, let's just go num of epochs and run that. So I am pretty sure this will work now, but no promise, no guarantee. Okay, I really hope it works now. I see. Alright, let's see if it works. Again, if you have any questions, just post them in the live chat. When the model is running, I literally don't have any. Okay, it worked. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm so happy it works now. There we go. We have a model. And why are we running on such a terrible accuracy score? That is kind of bad. Okay, why are we running on such a bad accuracy? Like, I do know most of it is because of my dataset creation skills. Like, my dataset creation skills are pretty bad. But that still is not. Oh yeah, I get it. I got my mistake. So I know the reason why we are at 50 accuracy was because I forgot to change the number of output nodes in my neural network. So the number of output nodes should be equal to the number of class names, which in this case is 3, and that's why we were getting that error. So in case if it's actually more than that or less than that, you will actually uh, not work. That's because the alright, there you go. Okay, and why isn't it still not going up? Okay, but the loss is coming down. That's kind of what we want. Alright, there we go. We came to a 75. So as you can see, this is the error. So as you can see, you actually will encounter errors like this in neural networks, and you will see like by the we should at least and we, as you can see, the losses are changing. And you might say, why isn't the accuracy score going up? The reason why that's happening is because, well, the losses are going down, and if the losses are going down, then we kind of sort of can compromise a little bit on the accuracy. The other reason is because currently my model is pretty overkill, so we are having a little bit of overfitting. I know the loss is kind of high right now, the loss is fairly decent, but uh, based on the model right now, we are currently running like a really overkill model on this, so I'm pretty sure that's overfitting that we are seeing right now. That's why we are running such a loss, and that's basically the case. And or the other reason could be maybe the optimizer is a bit different. Now I could give it different optimizers and activation functions, but the main reason why I'm not doing it right now is activation functions take up a lot of processing time. They are like really computationally heavy, and I have actually done a lot of research in activation functions myself. I have done a lot of the math myself to actually figure out what this is. So the way the soft sigmoid activation function actually works is that it actually calculates the way it actually does it. It's 1 upon 1 minus e to the minus x, and calculating that at every single iteration of a data point is actually taking up a lot of the processing time. Now, given the ReLU activation functions has a really basic activation calculation, like it just calculates the max and sees if it's like greater than 0 or stuff like that. But still, activation functions do take up a lot of like processing time, so I can't really go tan h over here, since currently my CPU is really 35% is just being used by OBS, so I really can't do that, since that will actually be really laggy for my laptop, and it will probably crash. So you might want to mess around with it, but I won't be able to right now since I'm on a stream and I don't want it to crash. So that's it. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I am not doing that, but you can obviously do it. Now, another reason for the high loss and low, not so high accuracy is the dataset. The dataset should be at least kind of good. Like in my dataset, I've pretty much just thrown in a bunch of random stuff. Like other datasets are kind of well thought out, well planned out. So I think that's one of the reasons for that. Actually, I'm currently working on a paper right now, so I think I can show you that. Okay, there we go. So maybe decreasing the neurons wasn't a good idea since, well, we are having an 80. Okay, that wasn't a good idea. Like we are, oh, there we go. That's what we want. Okay, that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so, well, oh yeah, the loss does go up, but, well, we are having 100% accuracy, so I think we can work with that. That's exactly what we want. Okay, well, I think I can work with it now. Even though we are having like a 1 point something loss, but there we go. This is kind of what we want. So, um, I think we can work with this. But like we are having like some overfitting. I don't really know what I should do right now. If anyone has like any suggestions, just put it in the comments. Like I do know one of the things is I can reduce the epochs. The epochs are 200, which is a lot. I think I'm gonna make them 100 because if you could see, we kind of were hitting the 1% loss at about like um, about the 98th epoch. So I think I'm gonna go with 100. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with like 95. Like everyone posted in the live chat. I do know one of the people is watching. So in case if you have any suggestions, put it in the chat box. All right, let's actually see if this works now. Now I can see the stream has a bit of a delay because of it super so yeah, reducing it will probably fix it. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much what yes. Okay. So reducing the epochs to 95. Let's see if this works now. I am pretty sure this should work, but there is a chance that the accuracy won't go up in this case. So I will have to mess around with the model in a way that the accuracy goes up, but the loss doesn't go up to like that 1 mark, which is what we want to take care of. Okay, as you can see in this case, well, the loss is at a 34. Okay, that's not a good model. Well, 95 isn't making the cut. Let's go up to like a 130. I think 130 will be something that's kind of good. Okay. I think, oh, I actually get it. Okay, so in this case, the embedding dimensions are very less. While I think I should add more embedding dimensions. Like, one of the reasons, like the only reasons that I can think of that can actually mess with the accuracy score is if it's binary classification, then you have to choose a correct activation. The correct optimizer, and the loss function should be binary entropy. The other reason that I think but that's for binary classification. In this case, we are not having binary classification. In this case, I think the one only thing is either the epochs and the other thing is the embedding dimensions. So I think that's the case. All right, we are at a good accuracy score now, like 96. Okay, so I just hope I can at least get it. Okay, I think this is gonna. Okay, there we go. We have the model that we wanted. I'm pretty sure. Please work. Okay, that's exactly what we want. An 8.8 loss, like an ideal case would be 0, but, well, the and an accuracy of 100. That's exactly what we want. That's pretty much what we want it to be. And since we save the model, we won't have to run it again. All right. Okay, so thank you. All right. Good. So now what we can actually do is get the predictions. Yeah, let's actually do that. Okay, how do we do the prediction? So I do know we have to first specify the sentence. Let's actually go with, wow. Actually, let's actually just grab one from the data set. The reason why I'm doing it from the data set right now is, well, the reason is currently what's happening is my model is really being trained on a really small amount of data. Now, in case if I was like a big YouTuber with like thousands of comments on his videos, I could leave my laptop running for like a few days, get all of those comments, and then create a data set out of that. But again, the problem will be I am not a big YouTuber. Like I barely have a few subs. So basically, what happens is I don't have a lot of comments. And since I don't have a lot of comments, I don't have enough data, and like half of the comments are code, half of the comments are made by me, where I say hope you enjoyed the video, which isn't like an actual like appreciation or something like neutral or bad. That isn't even neutral, since it's actually me posting. So that's why. Well, I can't actually get comments from another YouTuber, since the way I'm actually retrieving the comments is through the channel ID. So to actually retrieve the comments, I need to have the other YouTuber's channel ID. And in case if I don't have that, so if you don't know how to do that, and the second thing is that if I actually do try to do that, like if I try to get extra comments from someone like Mr. Beast or someone who has like millions of comments, that will provide me an outstanding data set. But the problem is I will literally have to keep my laptop running for days, if not months, and I obviously can't keep this stream up for months. So that's the main problem why I can't do that. So if you actually have a good channel ID with like a decent number of comments, maybe I will create like one stream in a few days where I will just have me running the code and retrieving the comments, because currently I will have to do it on the data set, because otherwise there is absolutely no way uh, the model will get the other thing correct. Like even though we are having a really good model, that won't work. So yeah, and yes, we can do it with the YouTube API surely, but you do need channel IDs, because that's basically the way the YouTube API works. So yeah, like I'm no master. In case if there is another way, then I don't know that. But I think like based on my knowledge, I think that's how it works. So yeah, so in case if anyone knows how to do it any other way and can provide me the code, you can kind of basically like kind of join my Discord server in case if you are on that. So yeah, wait, can you show the code you used to create the data set? Alright, 1 second. Let me actually provide you with the link for that. I actually copy pasted it. So yeah, I kind of took it from other people. So I'm just gonna copy paste that. GitHub repository code. Alright. 1 second. There we go. So yeah, just check that out. That's basically where I've provided the code. Not me, the other guy, from where I copy pasted the code. Alright, there we go. Alright, now how to get the predictions? Let's actually have a look. Fitting the model, saving the model, reversing the word index, searching Google. Now this is actually a really long code file, as you can see. So getting stuff isn't very good. Okay, there we go. Part sequences, model predict pattern, and print prediction. There we go. That's exactly what we need. And obviously we do want to argmax the prediction. That's just, there we go. And we obviously also want to just indent this piece of code. Okay, so what we also want to do now is, I think, yeah, now we actually want to load in the model, since we have saved the model but we haven't loaded in the model. So we can just comment out this piece of code, and we can just make a comment over here, loading in the model is equals to keras dot models dot load underscore model, and we want to load in the comment underscore sentiment underscore model. Just enclose that in there, and I think I'm done. Alright, there we go. Run the file. In an ideal case, what you want to do is you want to just go with open up the file name. You can get the channel ID of a YouTuber by looking at the end of that channel URL. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you so much. I did not know that. That's not. Thank you so much. Actually, thank you so much, man. So yeah, Ayan, thank you so much. Uh, so okay, I'm gonna use that now. But okay, so what I'm gonna do is maybe this will be off camera since again, as I told you. But I will post like something like a YouTube post or something saying if that worked or not. So if that works, then well, thank you. So yeah, and if it actually works, then well, I will kind of attribute you in the YouTube video description. So yeah, 1 second, let me actually just all right, let me just take a screenshot so I remember that. And there we go, it actually worked. There we go. Well, obviously it was under training data, but still it did work. It's positive. And there we go, that's actually entirely that's the entire model. 111 lines, not a whole lot of code, but that's pretty much it. Now I know there are gonna be far better models out there. This is not some crazy good model, but still that's pretty much what I have. So we have gone for 1 hour and 30 minutes, something like that. I'm pretty sure. Let's actually have a look over here. Yeah, 1 hour 30 minutes. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this stream. I'm gonna call it a day. So I did want to do this project for a long time now, but my exams were going on, so I hadn't even uploaded for like 2 weeks. So that was one of the reasons. But now they're over, so I will be back to uploading like really frequently or something like that. I don't know. No promises. But yeah. So that's pretty much it for this live stream. In case if you guys want to actually ask me anything, then you can just post it right now also, because I will be ending the stream in some time. Like I am working on some really cool things right now. I want to show you that, like maybe I will right now. Let me just really quickly show you that. Let me actually show you one of the cool things that I had right now. Let me actually show you that. So this was the chatbot that I had created in the last video. I actually improved on that. I have created a video for that, and as you can see, I did train it for 350 epochs and did manage to get a 1.8 loss and a 100% accuracy. So yeah, this is pretty much how, and the model was the same one that I initially copy pasted. So in case if you want to create the chatbot, then that's the model you want to go with. As you can see, 1.8 loss and an actual 100% accuracy. That's actually a really good score. In case if you don't know what machine learning is, that's actually a really good loss and a really good accuracy. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. So yeah, a lot of new videos coming soon. I actually was working on some research in terms of neural networks. As you can see, I literally have been very busy with that. So yeah, I do have a lot of code for that and stuff like that. Maybe I will make a video where I will go through my research itself. I actually did verify it with a person, so it is correct. I do know that it isn't published in any journal, since you do like since it's COVID and stuff. By the way, you could get some comments from Mr. Beast or something without running a laptop forever. If you could use a cloud thing like Google Collab or something. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could do that, surely. Yeah, I could actually do that. But like, even if I do use the cloud, if you actually do know that, in Google Collab, you actually have a limited amount of disk storage and a limited amount of RAM. Even if I do access the Google Collab GPUs, I can't actually access them an infinite amount of memory. I actually can't do that. What research? Surprise. I will show it to you in a few days. But it's actually really cool. Like I kind of hinted it in this live stream. It's based on activation functions in neural networks. But yeah, kind of a surprise. I will have a video on that coming very soon. Actually, you know what, let's actually show it to you. uh, I'm just gonna show you, kind of breeze through the paper right now. I'm just gonna show it to you. I won't really go over to explaining you that, because it will take like an hour if I actually start explaining. I think it's this one, final research or something. I don't. Let me just open that up. It's based on using Taylor series expansions instead of activation functions to actually approximate them, so we can actually decrease the processing time. So as you can see over here, it says approximating activation functions and neural networks as Taylor series expansions to decrease processing time. So we can actually do that. So the way we do it is we use a mathematical equation called the Taylor series. The way we do that is we put in an n number of derivatives and divide it by the factorial, the corresponding factorial. So what I've done is I've taken a sine wave over here, and I've given the derivatives of sine over here. As you can see, the derivatives of sine are given below. And the way what I've done is that then I've just taken all of these derivatives and put them in the Taylor formula. So we do get something like this. And basically what this allows you to do is approximate the sine graph at a particular point. And in this case, the sine graph is actually described as the nonlinear activation function. Again, I know, big words. I can't really get to explaining this stuff right now. So as you can see over here, we do have a sine graph, and the way you can see is as you can see, the pink one is actually so accurate. And what I have done over is graph the sigmoid and the tan H graph, and basically you can use this graph, and the way you will be able to approximate that. And this is the code that I use for that. And then basically what I have are some of these links. The Neural Networks from Scratch book by Harrison Kinsley and Daniel Kukela. In case you don't know, that's Sendex, Harrison Kinsley. I'm pretty sure literally everyone knows him. He's one of the most famous YouTubers making Python content. So yeah, I hope you like that research, Ayan. I'm pretty sure you were kind of curious, and yeah, I think your Google Colab question I kind of answered. Again, I can't have infinite disk storage. I know what you mean by that. Won't take me infinite storage. It will barely take me a little bit of time. And not a whole lot of storage, but again, I can't do that. I will. As I told you, I will try it out surely. And if I manage to succeed, then I will post something on YouTube on dealing with that. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this stream. Again, I will stream tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I don't know, I'm not very sure, but we will see. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the stream. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel, and comment down below whatever you want to. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the stream, and until the next time we meet, bye bye. Goodbye.